Titled The Alaska Summit: Trump and Putin's Unexpected Reunion. Hello, global citizens. Today, we're diving into an incredibly significant and, dare I say, almost cinematic moment in recent international relations. The highly anticipated, and quite frankly, surprising meeting between former U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Mark your calendars, because on August 15, 2025, history was made in the unlikeliest of places: the vast, majestic landscape of Alaska. This wasn't just another diplomatic meeting, it was a reunion 6 years in the making. A face-to-face encounter that held the weight of geopolitical shifts, and the fervent hope for peace. And the main item on the agenda? Nothing less than the cessation of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Imagine the scene: the crisp Alaskan air, the sprawling Elmendorf-Richardson Joint Base in Anchorage, serving as the neutral ground for two of the world's most talked about leaders. The air must have been thick with anticipation. Reports suggest that President Trump, ever the showman, waited to personally greet President Putin. There was a handshake, a brief exchange of words, and then, in a move that surely raised eyebrows and sparked countless headlines, Trump reportedly patted Putin's hand, signaling a surprising degree of familiarity. It's these small, unscripted moments that often reveal the most, isn't it? Initially, the world expected a one-on-one, high-stakes discussion. But, in a shift that perhaps reflected the complexity of the issues at hand, the meeting evolved into a 3-on-3 format. On the American side, we saw the inclusion of key figures, like Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. This immediate expansion suggests a desire for broader input, and a more structured approach to the delicate negotiations. But the formal discussions didn't stop there. An extended luncheon meeting followed, bringing even more heavyweights to the table. Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent, Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and Chief of Staff Susie Wild, all joined the fray. This expanded gathering underscored the multifaceted nature of the issues, touching upon not just diplomatic and security concerns, but also economic and strategic dimensions. And the theatrics didn't end with the handshake. Picture this: both leaders, side by side, walking towards a stage emblazoned with Alaska 2025. They paused for photographs, a moment frozen in time for future history books. But then, something truly extraordinary happened. They both boarded President Trump's official car, the Beast, together, to travel to the meeting venue. This was an unprecedented gesture, marking the first time a Russian head of state had ever ridden alongside a U.S. president in the Beast. It was a powerful visual, a symbol, perhaps, of a shared path forward, or at least, a willingness to forge one. The composition of President Trump's delegation further highlighted the gravity of the visit. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent, Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick, and Director of the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA John Ratcliffe were all in attendance. This impressive assembly of foreign policy and security advisors signaled the critical importance the U.S. placed on these discussions. Now, let's talk about the crux of the matter: Ukraine. This meeting was squarely focused on finding a resolution to the ongoing conflict. President Trump's reported strategy involved a ceasefire agreement, to be followed by a multilateral meeting. This subsequent gathering would ideally include Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and other European leaders, aiming to pave the way for a comprehensive end to the war. The choice of Alaska, specifically the Elmendorf-Richardson Joint Base in Anchorage, as the meeting ground was also significant. Away from the usual political hubs, it offered a sense of neutrality and perhaps a fresh perspective. This summit, therefore, wasn't just about two leaders meeting. It was about a concerted effort to reset, to reevaluate, and to potentially redefine the global geopolitical landscape. It was about leveraging personal diplomacy in a way that perhaps only these two leaders could. The world watched with bated breath, eager to see if this unexpected reunion in the vast expanse of Alaska would indeed pave the way for a more peaceful future. The outcomes of such high-level dialogues often ripple across continents, affecting countless lives and shaping international relations for years to come. What do you think about this pivotal meeting? Was it a step towards peace, or merely a symbolic gesture? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful discussions on global affairs. Until next time, stay informed.